Morning everyone, this is John Adolfi. Welcome to Adolfi Real Estate, and we are live here on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the 7 strategies on how to sell a property in any market. In any market. Now right now, as of 2021 February, the market is just absolutely explosive. Been that way for about 3 years. So anyone trying to sell a property, either on their own or with a realtor, it has become easier, higher price points, but that isn't always the case. So I use these 7 principles regardless of the market that we're in because they are effective. I'm going to go through them one by one, share them with you. Now, 2 things you're going to get out of this video. Number 1, what we do in order to sell a home here in Central New York and in Florida. The second thing that you're going to get is tips on how to do it yourself, or actually, there's a third reason. If you're going to be hiring somebody, let's say you live in Kansas and you're going to be hiring a realtor, you may want to discuss these strategies with them in a way, hopefully you won't, stomp on their professional, the ego. That's what I'm trying to get at. Okay, so signage. You may think that signage is old school, and it is, but it still works. There was a time in the 90s when the sign was responsible for 20% of all sales, as high as 40% depending on where you lived. And it's still relevant. A real estate sign or some kind of for sale sign says to the public, I'm for sale. Instead of keeping it a secret, and I know there are probably reasons or perhaps economic reasons or reputation reasons or whatever it is. Or maybe you just don't feel comfortable your neighbors knowing that you're selling, that you don't put a sign out there. But let me just say this. You're going to impact the marketability of your house by keeping it a secret and just letting people know about it through the MLS or through Facebook Marketplace or something like that. A sign works. And what we have done is we have placed our logo, good size, and our phone number, huge. Not overly huge where it's grotesque, but large enough to where you can see it easily. The problem with too many real estate signs is that the number is too small for people to be able to easily write it down. And the other problem, unfortunately, is that when they call, they'll get anything from a series of prompts and go into some kind of voicemail limbo, or they will never get a call back. That's the second secret. We'll get to that in just a second, but calling back. Number 2, photos. Have your home professionally photographed. We do it all the time with ours. And there are going to be certain circumstances where good old iPhone 11 or 12, if properly done by the agent and not in vertical format, thank you. You can save that for Instagram or the like. Horizontally, highest quality, wide angle. And the iPhone 11 and 12, and I know the Androids too, I'm sure, the ultra wide angle is the best way to shoot it. Lighting is critical. The leaps and bounds that they've made with the phones and the technology for their cameras is just unbelievable. They take very acceptable photos, but there is a next step when it comes to photography by having a professional come in, light it properly, and then go in and tweak it the way they do. One thing I would suggest, if you look at their work and you look at other photographs of other homes, let's say the green grass looks a little bit too green, you may want to ask them if they can just, not go so bright on the saturation to make it look almost like dreamlike or Wizard of Oz-like, because that to me personally, it just it takes away from the veracity or the reality or the truth of the house, and that's not something you want to do. You don't want to attract them to a greater degree to get them to come just to be disappointed. That's not cool. Professional staging, something that in my 35 years I avoided only because I didn't know enough about it. When I did finally learn about staging, I love it. Now, not every home needs to be staged, and a good, honest professional stager will tell someone whether or not they need staging or not. And the great thing about a stager, if they're worth their weight in salt, they'll make color suggestions. If they're just going to paint walls, they'll get paid for their compensated for their time to come in and do an advisory, you know, for a half an hour, 45 minutes of tips on what they can do, different, you know, light fixtures that they can switch them out, you know, and just give a lot of bang for the buck to try to maximize the look and feel of the property, to give the buyer, especially you millennials, that emotional charge that one wants when one's buying a house and when one needs when one's selling a house. So a stager can be everything from picking out the bathroom color to full-blown out staging the property with furniture other than your own. Or they can supplement your furniture, tell you to put certain things away, bring a couple of pieces themselves and rearrange it. And as one home stager said, you may not feel comfortable for the next few months, but staging is not about you being comfortable in your own home. It's about staging it for them out there when they come in here and how they perceive it and how they feel about it. So staging is worth its weight in gold. Videoing, as we're doing here right now. I started doing that in 2009, not knowing where it was going to lead, had a flip camera, had a good time doing it. And I don't know, we've done 1,400 videos later since, let's see, it's been now 12 years. We enjoy doing them, and that's what we do. Now, what's great about video versus photoing is, is the fact that with photos, you can tell a lot, but you can't tell layout. And also, if there's any ambivalence or any stretching the truth with photos, sometimes they're just that way, even if you're not trying to be deliberate about it. Video tells more of the story, and I find that the feedback from people about video, when they discover it, they love it. And what I do is something a little different. I don't just put it to music and say and that's it. Just put it to music or put photos together. I actually get out my iPhone and I shoot it. And when I shoot it, I'm talking through it as well too to let everyone know what they're seeing and what's going on. And it makes it for a video with a lot of heart. Now, I've seen video production quality that far surpasses mine. But what it doesn't have when they're showing these mansions, they may sell the dream and the sizzle and you may be wowed by what you're seeing, but there's no heart. It's the person that makes the video more personable. And heart is what I strive for when it comes to videoing. Now, you may not have all that to be able to do that all in one. That's fine, but just know that if you do shoot a video, and even if you don't say anything at all, it's better than not doing it at all, okay? Ready-made audience. Now, this may not be you. This may be, you may be a social media superstar, you know, where you've got 10,000 followers on Instagram and another 20,000 on Facebook. Congratulations, good for you. You can put the word out about your house if you're selling it for sale by owner. Or again, if you're hunting for a realtor, you may want to ask them, what kind of following do you have on YouTube? What kind of following do you have for your professional Facebook site and your Instagram site? And you know, see what they have to say. Now, here at our office, we've got not only an email list, okay, of realtors and past clients, current clients, future clients that receive our email at least once a week on what we have. And this is not some templated thing that we purchase from some real estate company so we can send a newsletter out. We basically home bake everything that we do here from scratch, which again makes it more real. And so we'll put up a new video or a link to all of our MLS listings or a tip or give out a free report. And again, these reports, and I don't want to get sidetracked here, but are again created by us knowing what they're saying out there. We hear it. We create a one-page report, two-page report on the question, the solution, the information that they need that's most prominent, you know, like an FAQ on real estate with individual reports, and we make them available to our clients. So, you know, a ready-made audience means that once I shoot the video and have the photos and have the MLS link, that is the link to the MLS listing, all I got to do is in about 5 minutes, press a button and it'll go out to, oh golly, including YouTube and whatnot, 5,000 people are going to receive, at least potentially receive the information. That's cool. That puts you in the driver's seat when you have that kind of power, influence, you know what I'm saying? Ability to reach people. And then on top of that, you've got the MLS working on your behalf it's going to go into all the different feeds like Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, okay? Snail mail. Yes, we actually do that. We have an active list of people that want to receive information from us. It's over 1,000 right now. And every month we send them out something, and we send it right just before it gets mailed out. We make any last minute changes to make sure that the information is relevant. It could be listings, it could be an announcements, a combination of many different things, but usually the listings that we have, we feature the ones that we just listed, ones that are a really good bargain, we'll put in there as well too. And like recently, we just announced that my wife got her license in Florida, and surprisingly, I didn't know how many people were interested in Florida and New York, but I shouldn't have been surprised, you know, with the weather up here and all. But they responded to her ability to help them buy and list property in Florida. So, you know, that's what we send out once a month. So if we have a listing, let's say you list with us, it's going to go out to 1,000 people via snail mail. And I'll tell you what, there's a secret to snail mail, and I could do a whole video on that. Here it is in a nutshell. Nobody is using it. Nobody's using it. We send out a 2-page color in a legal size or whatever envelope out to a group of people that normally get bills and those oversized postcards that don't mean anything. That's all we get in our mail anymore. We never get a letter from anyone. So if we send them content, again, home-baked, not templated, personalized, you know, we send it out, it's got a little more value than just your average real estate newsletter and the junk that we get in our mail every single day. Last thing is the callback. Remember I told you about the number on the sign is just one of the reasons why, one of the techniques or methods or strategies to sell your home. It's the callback. We say that our voicemails are never full. We always call you back within 1 second to 24 hours, okay? Now, we try our hardest when it comes to that. It's not easy to do that. You can do it once, you can do it for a week or a day or a month, but to do it month after month, year after year, and be consistent with that, that's where the challenge comes in, because everybody that calls, that's their first, many of them are going to be their first experience. You have no idea how many times I've had people tell me, I called the realtor on the listing. I called 3 times, never got a call back. I've heard that for 30 years as the #1 complaint that people have in the real estate industry. So those of you out there thinking about getting into real estate, there's your secret sauce right there. Now, it doesn't happen overnight as far as success just from this one thing. But I will say this, that if you do it over time and get a reputation for it, people not only appreciate it, but the new people that come into your life will appreciate it as well too, especially if they've been burned by another real estate agent or just been ignored, okay? The callback, super, super important. One last thing about that. Think about this for a second. You've got this beautiful real estate sign in front of your home. You're thinking, they had brought 2 people in there that did this incredible listing presentation. They showed you this extremely beautiful high price that you had never imagined that you could get for your home. They said, we're going to put it in the MLS and we're going to hold an open house and all this, right? What happens when they don't call people back and you don't know about it? Here's what I'm talking about. Nobody does a listing presentation and says, oh, and by the way, we call all people back. Nobody does that. They do the old dog and pony show and bright lights and look at my big head up on a sign that says I'm #1, in the marketplace. But they don't tell you that whether or not they call people back. Because it's assumed because they're a professional that they will, but yet it's the #1 reason why people get frustrated within this industry. And I think it extends to many industries. It's not exclusive to real estate. So what kind of assurance are you going to have when somebody calls off that sign and calls to the real estate company and says, hey, I'm interested in this home, that they are even going to get a call back? Statistically speaking, yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, here. My free report, the 7 proven reasons to list your home with Adolfi Real Estate, is actually the 7 strategies on how to sell your home or to hire someone to sell your home or to just take a peek under the hood and see what we do. I want to thank you for hanging out with us this time, and listen, to those of you who want to, you know what to do. Subscribe if you want, okay? Give us a call, 315-695-6434. You guys have a great day. Thanks for looking at this presentation. Our next presentation is going to be called, I want to list my home for sale. What do I do next? The 7 next steps to the listing process. After you've chosen someone and you're ready to go, what happens next after that? We're going to talk about that on the next broadcast. Thank you.